Welcome back to Life Experiences with Dr. Amanda. And today I want to do a special segment and dedicate it to Dr. Shirley Murray, the founding mother of Full Gospel Holy Temple, Dallas, Texas, where I attend church. And this segment is going to be called A Woman Who Fears the Lord. It's a dedication to Dr. Shirley Murray. And so remember, the purpose of this channel is to encourage and to uplift females of all ages. And when I tell you the kind of encouragement Dr. Murray has been to me throughout the past 20 years that I've known her, it's immense. And it's one of those things where, people don't necessarily have to spend a lot of time in your presence to have an impact on your life. And she was one of those individuals. When we think of Proverbs 31, everyone calls it the virtuous woman chapter. That it epitomizes her. That is her, a virtuous woman. And specifically where it talks about a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. If you knew Dr. Murray for any length of time, you knew her respect, her reverence for the Lord, that she lived her life for the Lord. And First Peter even talks about a meek and a quiet spirit. And one of the things that I first noticed about Dr. Murray was her meek and her quiet spirit, her humbleness. I observed her and her interactions on the pulpit with her husband. And I come from a line of wonderful women in my life, strong women. But one of the things that really stood out about her that I really gained from and learned is that, how when we feel a certain way or some things are said, we as women, especially Black women, we can have certain facial expressions, or our eyes can do certain things. And even though we may not say it with our mouths, you understand that we feel some type of way. I never saw that from Dr. Shirley Murray. She had that meek and that quiet spirit. And I never saw her overstep her husband or say anything rude or mean to anyone openly. I have an example of one time I sat on the phone talking to her, about a situation that happened in my life. And she never made me feel badly about the situation. See, she simply gave me what the word said, and she shared something confidential with me just so that it would help me. And it's something that I've never shared with anyone else, and I won't, because I felt like for her to share that with me, she didn't even have to say, Amanda, do not share it with anyone else. She had that confidence, that discernment. She knew that I wouldn't. She was just that type of woman, a strong woman in the Lord, and just a strong woman, period. And one of the things I really want to focus on with this channel, our society, because of the place of women in our current society, it's so far from how God desires us to be. It's important that we have women who stand up and are that godly example, like Dr. Shirley Murray, who epitomizes what it means to truly be a woman of God. We don't have to try to be in competition with men. We don't have to try to run men. We don't even have to try to have the characteristics of men to show that we can do what they do. If we just be well in the role that God created us to be in. And so 1 Thessalonians 4:11, I want to wrap this up by quoting that scripture that says, and that ye study to be quiet and to do your own business and to work with your own hands as we commanded you. And so Paul, that's something that he was saying to the people. And when I think about Dr. Shirley Murray, you can tell that she studied to be quiet. She knew when it was time to speak. And when she did speak, it was something of essence. And as women of God, we don't have to respond to everything. We don't have to say something about everything. And we don't have to share everything. And those are some of the nuggets that I learned from Dr. Shirley Murray. So thank you all for listening today. Please subscribe to the channel, share with others. And next time we're going to focus on knowing God's voice. Stay blessed.